Been there for sure. Oh god, I worked in a bunch of different industries at this point, and now I'm like kind of glad. I usually there's like a period where I'm like, man, I don't want to do this again. Like I don't want to like just jump back in right away. So when you can take that pause, it's definitely nice. But that said, tell me about the melee. How has that been going?
So I haven't played a ton recently. I've been pretty preoccupied with some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did have a couple questions I was curious about today, but they're not super like it's not like specific matchup kind of stuff.
That's okay.
Um, so I figured I had two questions, and then if I don't know how long those will take to explain or to talk about, if they're short, we could would probably be valuable to play some ranked games or some unranked and just get some live coaching. And if the two questions fill up a lot of space, then so be it. That's
Yeah.
that's
Well,
good too.
shoot. What's on your mind?
So one general question, or sorry, one like gameplay specific one, and then one out of game question. I think when we've talked a lot, we talk a lot about like positional play and like where characters are strong and where they're weak. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I was curious, like, is that different than a game plan? When people say game plan, what is a game plan? How do you have a game? Do you have a game plan for this matchup? Like, is it different than that? Is that the same thing? How do you make a game plan, and what does it look like to you
It's a part of a
for a
game.
matchup?
I mean, it's a part
Yeah,
of a game plan.
yeah. I'm sure it has like some, like, I'm sure that's part of it. But like, what does sort of a game plan look like to you? Because I don't really have very many for matchups. I kind of know little things I'm looking for, but I don't know if it's as I don't really know what it looks like.
That's a good question. So
The
let me launch
oh,
Slippy, and then you can help
so
me figure one out. Or
you
like,
want, and
or
then
sorry, I'll launch Uncle Punch. That's what I
sure.
meant.
Maybe I'll just tell you the other question too, because if that's
Sure.
a really fast one, you could bang that out. I, it's a specific about like Sheik's reaction tech chase. I don't really know if I know all the options exactly perfectly, and I'm a little bit confused based off of like seeing people do wave dash and then or just like turn around regrab kind of stuff. This is a gameplay specific one and then a more general one.
Oh, the RTC is straightforward. So like, the RTC. So, what do you mean by you don't know all the options? Because there's only four options. There's only like a handful of options that they can do, right? Like they can tech roll in. They can like I'll turn this guy to no DI for simplicity. But like, what do you mean by you don't know all the options? Like he only
Uh,
has a handful of them.
well, I guess like so if you do like, I guess I'm not exactly sure what option I'm supposed to pick. Like, am I supposed to boost grab, or am I supposed to dash JC grab, or am I supposed to just like standing regrab or standing JC grab? I don't know like the specific to pick for it, or if it matters really.
So basically, the rule of thumb here is, when depending on his tech option, that determines like which type of grab you do or whether you grab at all. Because like no tech, you don't grab right away. So we'll make it. Well, let's do tech stand. So on tech in place or tech stand, like whatever you want to call it,
Sure.
this one, it's basically always just standing grab.
Okay, so just standing grab, not
Yeah.
like JC grab. Okay,
No, because JC grab just adds to startup.
right.
Like you might have
Yep.
to turn around and grab him depending on how he DIs, but like this is where like we start to get into more complicated things. So here, like let's make him DI this way. It's still just a grab, but the reason people do the wave dash thing is because the purpose of the wave dash is to create a standardized starting point for that standing grab.
Okay.
So like the idea here is that like I could turn around and grab him, but let's say that he like does like let's say he doesn't DI exactly the way I've done it here. Let's say he DIs more like this. Oh wait, no, that's not quite it. It's more like here, I think. See how it's like a little ambiguous as to like which side he comes out on?
Yep.
So, like, they can also do something like this, where it's, like, even more, where it's even more unclear which way he comes out on. Or they can kind of vary between these, like, specific points that are, like, that create, like, ambiguity in terms of, like, how he comes out of the throw. Like, he can vary between that. Like, this is just like, defense versus the chain grab, like the RTC 101. So the purpose of the wave dash here is that you're creating a situation where you're never having to guess, regardless of what his DI is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like that's it. That's the entire purpose of it. Now, I'm doing the grab out of the wave dash very slowly because I haven't practiced this in like 7 years. But this is like basically how it works.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to do that if you have good if you are okay with like accepting the 50-50 on the ground, like on the ground at the lower percents. You don't necessarily need to do this, but you are like it is a technical. It's more technical to like more of a technical demand to get to learn the wave dash method, especially at the lower percents where it's very strict, because it requires you to do more. In terms of your inputs, but it does take pressure off your reactions because if you do nail it, because it means that you're always reacting from effectively the same DI, because you have the time to do that input. Like mechanically, you have the time to do that just while Sheik is waiting for the opponent to land. Like here, we'll do this. So we're now throwing. What I want you to pay attention to is like what frame that he's actually released from the throw. So he starts coming out of the throw after like around here, right? Around 37. But we aren't actually able to move with Sheik until like 57.
Right. So
what this means here is we always, during that 20 frames where we're not even able to move, that is visual human reaction time. So we have all the time we need to, like, move to get into the proper position. That's how this mechanically works. See what I mean?
Right, yep.
Yeah, so it requires more from you from a reaction standpoint. From a technical standpoint. But you are trading that off in terms of not having to react to what side of you he's come out on later.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
So
you could just do wave dash always.
Yeah.
It would just be hard. It's just harder at low percents, but it would be optimal to just always do it if you could.
Correct. If you have the execution, it's just better to do it because it means that like your hands are solving a problem of your eyes in reaction time, which is preferable because that's just execution and like grinding it out. Now, as for what type of grab you do, when they roll, it's boost grab. Like, if they tech roll its boost grab, it just goes further. That's it. That's all there is to it.
Okay. Both directions, just boost grab.
Yeah, like whether it's here, doesn't matter. Whether it's here, doesn't matter. You still get them.
Okay.
Now, this actually segues quite well into into building a game plan. What do you think the purpose of the RTC is? Like, aside from killing Fox, which is always a noble endeavor, like, what do you think the purpose of a game plan is in this matchup? Like, of the RTC in the bigger context of a game plan.
I feel like the purpose of the RTC in this matchup is to get Fox to a percent where you can hit him with like a dash attack or something, or an F tilt that'll pop him up, and you can send him off stage and try to edge guard him. Like, it's just a percent builder.
Right. So what we have here is we have a structural weakness of the character. Sheik does not have tons and tons of early game options that are effective against that hairy bastard. Like, that's just how she is mechanically. That's all there is to it. She doesn't have tons and tons of stuff that works against him in the early game. She has things that work kind of conditionally, like up tilt's a gnarly move. Like when he doesn't do that. We also have like her back air is pretty good. Her up air is alright. Her like once he gets to a certain percent, but really we're trying to get him to about here. In terms of like, so we have, this is one lens that we can look at for like constructing a game plan, which is just like at what point do our like moves work on him. Like, what are
Okay.
the easiest ways for us to get him to point A to point B in terms of, like, when we can kill him? Because every matchup involves some amount of damage. Like, most matchups involve some amount of damage building and some amount of, like, putting them into, like, the kill spots. And this is just one vehicle. Like, the reaction tech chase, because it is very bad at giving us control over where the combo goes, it's very good at, like, unless the opponent allows us to put them at the edge, it's really more of a damage building tool.
Okay.
So, now, that's kind of, like, that's all from, like, in terms of how we actually kill him. Again, how Sheik wins this one is pretty straightforward. She's, like, very good she's very good at edge guarding and pop-ups and comboing once she gets the ball rolling, because she's got stuff like that. She's got her powerful tilts. She's got good coverage off stage. So a game plan wants to understand, like, you always want to know where you're going, where your game plan is leading you to. Like, how are you planning on closing the stock and killing the opponent? If that, like, if your goal is to kill the opponent, and it might not always be, like Jigglypuff in particular, sometimes just doesn't care about that. But assuming that our goal is to kill the opponent at some point, how do we do that? In her case, versus him, we need to get him to a certain requisite percentage amount, usually, and then we have to get him off, like, pop him up with something, or get us something going that allows us some amount of control over where the combo goes, and then we just keep following him until he goes off stage and kill him.
Okay.
Now, how do we do that? This is where the positional side of the equation comes in. Because we now know, like, through the positional bit, we know how, like, what her strong spots are relative to him, and what moves she has that are good relative to his. We know that, like, when they're both standing still, her moves generally at about this distance, her tools are probably better than his, in general, because she's got powerful ways of, like, she just needs to cross a teensy amount of space to have access to her tilts, whereas the only thing he really has here is his down tilt, or to, like, rush forward. But again,
Right.
her buttons are faster than that, so if they're both standing still, she's got advantage in this kind of spot. So what we have here is we use our positions to establish how we get our hits. Then with those hits, we have a list, we have kind of like a ranking of priority in terms of which ones we want to get, depending on the game state, which is usually determined by percent and stock count and things like that. And then from there, it's just, what do we do with those hits?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Pardon me, sorry. I just have to
No
let
worries.
someone... Just have to buzz someone up as they're doing some work in our apartment.
Nice. Yeah, like,
Okay.
that's like the gist of it. Now, there's other
Yeah.
ways that you can approach it. Like, you could look at, like, against characters that are not Fox, you could also look at, or even against Fox, but it's easier to show against characters that aren't him. There's other weaknesses that you wind up being able to exploit. So, like, in Peach's case, for example, she's slow. That's kind of like one of her big flaws. So, like, stuff like this is very good, because we have ways of, like, because she's slow and has to put effort into, like, beating something as simple as this. It's not terribly difficult, but her speed makes her more susceptible to this style of gameplay, because yeah, she commits more when she moves into different positions, because that's just how one of her weaknesses. It's how she works. It also means that
Right.
Sheik then can use this as a way to, like, make up for her own weaknesses, i.e. her issues with low percent, because, you know, doing 18 damage to her, 17 damage to her with a whack of needles, very, very strong, very powerful. And it gives her ways of, like, overcoming some of the issues that she just naturally has in her early game. So the opponent, a game plan ideally wants to address your character's weaknesses, wants you to skip past the parts of the game where your character sucks, wants to make the opponent play the positions where they're bad in as much as humanly possible, and then ideally wants to use, like, those two things. So this is where positions and game states, knowledge, like, those kind of, like, intersect there. And ideally this all leads to us, like, doing a whack of damage to them a lot. In whatever way, like, gives us the win most efficiently.
Right. Okay. So it's mainly addresses percents and positions, basically. That's what I have written.
percents, positions, and the character's strengths and weaknesses. It's like we're trying to use the character.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, because we're using their strengths and weaknesses to inform what positions we want, and then we're using that to convert to some kind of win condition. Something that gives us a whack of damage or odds to kill them quickly and effectively.
Okay. I think that probably isolating an actual... actually isolating like a win condition in each matchup is probably something that I have to do as well. I think I understand what it is, but I don't think I have... Like, I think I know what it is for Fox. I think I probably know what it is for Falco, but I don't know if I know what it is for, like, Peach or Puff or Captain Falcon, maybe.
Falcon, you can usually use the same ones that you use versus Fox and Falco to a pretty high degree. I'd say against the floaties and mid-fallers, with Sheik in particular, just put them in a spot where your back air beat. Like, just pop them up at the end of a combo with up air or whatever, and then just turn your back to them and like shark them with back airs. You'll start to you'll see them start to do some really silly things to like try to beat it, and that's where a lot of it stems from.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. That because like I feel like I've your game plan talked about so much, but I feel like there's such a nebulous... I don't feel like it's very specific what people think about it. I'm sure it varies per person, and I'm sure it varies per for most Melee players, but I wanted to get your insight on it. Yeah.
Let me show you something let me grab you something. I think that there's a clip that... So I was talking with Elliot one time about the Jigglypuff matchup, and we were talking about how you play that one, and I'm just gonna see if I have a clip I took from an old match of mine, because he was showing me some stuff he did versus Hungrybox, and I wanted to show him something. So give me 10 seconds. I just want to see if I can find it.
Him taking a game off of Hungrybox, or maybe beating him online, I can't remember, is one of like the sickest VC Melee things in a long time.
Oh yeah, no, I thought
he's so good.
I saw him versus I saw him play versus Hungrybox, and I was like, hey, you do what I used to do. Type.
Yeah, Elliot's so good. Okay. And he's a really nice guy, even when he just crushes you in bracket. He's so nice.
Yeah, so you can see my screen? Click the names.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this is old, but basically, like, the idea here is we have Jigglypuff above us. She sucks above us. So we're just attacking her from very specific angles a lot. Like, this is kind of similar to how Elliot described the matchup, where we get her in the air here, and then you notice that, like, we're just kind of, like, counting her jumps the entire time. We know that she's run out when she does that small one, so it's this is just jump counting, basically. It's not terribly complicated, but the idea here is that we know that Jigglypuff runs out of jumps eventually. She doesn't really have moves except for like directly next to her and like below, like directly above her, and that's about it really. So all we're doing there, which is something that he identified when he showed me some of his like matchup ideas, is we're just putting her in spots where she doesn't have moves, and then just sharking her off those spots. So I would say that versus floaties, it's a lot of like how you beat them. A lot of the win conditions against floaties is just abusing advantage state in a similar fashion to that.
Right.
Like, I think I have a clip against Firepuff where I was playing Marth, where I like drained all his jumps and just like just edgehogged him at some point, and it's like it works. Like, it works. It's very good. But yeah. Floaties in particular are susceptible to that because their whole problem is, while they're very good at holding advantage when they're in the driver's seat, because they kind of just like waft around in their power positions for a while, that flips on them when they're in disadvantage, because then all of a sudden, like, they take so long to come down from it, you have all this time to set up on them.
Yeah, I really view when I think about Sheik, like, I think about versus floaties, and I think pretty much versus every floaty. Well, I guess, like, I think that Sheik, if the matchup is like neutral game and punish game, you just view only those two things, like I think that Sheik wins. She wins one side of it in every matchup. It's just like maybe Fox she loses both, but I think pretty much every other one. Like versus Peach, like I think she wins neutral. Versus Puff, I think she wins neutral, but versus like Fox, I think she probably wins punish but loses neutral, you know?
I get
Which is
what you're
probably
saying.
debatable.
Well, I get what you're saying. The way I would put it is, I don't necessarily view them as like separate entities. I think, and that's where you and I, if we try to continue this conversation, are going to run into problems. Not really problems, but like we're going to run into a difference of opinion. Because from my perspective, neutral and punish aren't really separate things. They're just different sides of like a spectrum. So like, because from my perspective, what is advantage state in this model? Because advantage state is not really neutral because somebody is winning, but it's not really punish in that the defender has options. So like, I guess my point would be there are in between zones on this grid, on this spectrum, where like one informs, like where there is overlap, and I don't think that like you can really take those out because advantage state, whichever one it is, because there's kind of different types of them. Right. What is advantage state if not the place where those two things intersect?
Yeah, and it's really it was just a thought I had, it wasn't necessarily directly connected to it. But yeah, it's probably such a gray area that, or like it's such a spectrum that it's probably hard to
I think certain types of advantage...
make generalizations.
True. I think that there's certain types of advantage state that are more brutal than others as well. Like, I think that really the big thing that people got wrong about this game is that... Well, one of the many things that people get wrong about this game is, like, the idea that... I feel like the RTC is simultaneously one of the most powerful forms of advantage state, but also one of the weakest forms of advantage state. Because I think that, like, while it's good, the defender always has the choice on how quickly it ends. Which is, I think, my main issue with it.
Right.
I think that juggle state into edge guard is, like, also a much cleaner, more consistent transition, and I think that we find that on basically every single top-tier character. Like, some version of it. But that's neither here nor there. I've sent you the spectator code. Do you remember how this works?
Yeah. I put it in, I started the broadcast and I put it in. I'm just going to queue for an unranked game, and then if it's working, I'll play a ranked game after, probably.
Cool. I'm not showing you showing up on the spectate tab.
Is it? I'm not in a game yet.
No, but it says it says no user.
Okay.
You probably have to confirm it.
Yeah.
The game has to be running, so it has to be running, and then you confirm it.
Ah, I see. Okay, game's running. Confirm it.
Now I can see you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we'll just queue an unranked game and make sure everything's connecting just fine.
Cool. Nice.
Ooh, Sheik Ditto. Yep, I can see you. Just getting
Well,
down
it's
there.
working. Oh,
Alright, off to ranked we go.
Yep. Ugh. Yeah. We did a little bit in the Sheik Ditto 1 or 2 lessons ago, and I like playing that matchup. It's quite enjoyable.
Nice.
It's a little, the last tournament I played at, of my 4 matches, 3 of them were Sheik Dittos. And I got the whole gamut of like a little bit weaker than me, a really good close match, and then one person who just blew me out. It was so good.
Okay.
The difference in speed was the biggest thing. I feel like the best Sheik player was way faster, and had a way better chain grab for sure.
Makes sense. Yeah, speed is huge. Let me know when we've got an opponent.
Yeah. Should be pretty quick. It is the free day, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And then next month I'm going to just going to Don't Park on the Grass, which should be pretty fun too, with some friends. That should be fun.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I like Seattle, so. Okay. I am versus Captain Falcon.
Cool.
I'm gonna ban Dreamland. Battlefield. Oh.
I would say he's the exception for the wave dash thing, because he's like he can't DI behind you. Otherwise, you can like up tilt him and stuff.
Oh.
It's only if he DIs away that he gets out of that stuff. So you always have options out of your down throw if he goes elsewhere. And also
Okay.
because he's in the air for longer, it's just easier to like do turnarounds and stuff on him if you. Yeah. But on Falco and Fox, you have to do it. Like the wave dash helps if you do it.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
It's okay. You've caught up a lot. Like you basically SD'd a first stock, and now you're like just down like some damage.
I.
Biggest thing I noticed. There's one thing I noticed. I'll tell you
Yeah.
after the game.
Okay. Okay. So.
Are you trying to react to everything?
Yes.
Don't.
Pretty much.
Don't. You have to be willing to like swing when he's close. When he's like close to you past a certain point, you have to be willing to be active without waiting for some like a specific cue to react to, because like he's
Okay.
fast and he comes at you from far away pretty quickly. So if you're just waiting around for him to react, then like waiting around for a cue to get to you, he's gonna get to you first.
Okay.
It's not to say you don't react, like you still want your eyes on him, but like you just have to be willing to like be more active.
Okay. Okay.
Because a lot of times you're just crouching in front of him, and then he just like stomps you, and it's like I can tell that you were waiting for that, but like you just don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
And that was the thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really know what stage is best here. I probably just play Battlefield again, to be honest.
Yoshi's story is really good. Because it's small, and you get him off the stage easily, and edge guard him easily.
That makes sense. And I'm gonna die at a low percent anyways.
Yeah, like whether knee kills us off the side at 68 or 75, like does that 7 really make a difference? All his moves do like 20 damage anyway. Like
Yeah, yeah. I
It's okay.
was meant to do up tilt, but I got F tilt. Okay.
I feel like you're overwhelmed. Try just breathing when you get a hit, or when he hits you.
Okay. Oh.
Good recovery onto Randall, though. Remember, breathing check.
Whoa!
Breathing check. The moment is over. There you go.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, the difference between trying to react to everything and not, I don't want to play FD, I think.
FD seems very difficult.
That one I don't like because they punish so hard on that stage, I find.
I mean, so do you, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna, like, I've fought Wizrobe there enough times to know, like, yeah, it's not fun. I think it was only, like, twice in tournament, and I was like, that was enough.
Yeah. That was a really good recovery.
Lucky bastard. He did not do that intentionally. I'm not going to give him credit for that. If he did, that, like, Wego, whoever you are, if you did, then, like, my bad. But yeah, I don't believe you.
Fair enough. Oh, thought he was gonna get that. Yes.
Alright, breathe when hit, breathe when we get hit.
Ah!
Ooh, the back end of down smash. That was sneaky. I like that.
Oh. Nice.
Try to be fancy.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, it's okay. We just learned a situation where we maybe don't do it in. It's really hard to be fancy when you don't have your jump.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that. You denied him from coming in close. So we learned that, like, when we tilt him at those low percents, he can jump out before the grab connects. So we probably had to up tilt after the forward tilt. In that spot.
Oh, I thought. Yep.
Alright, breathe when we get hit, breathe when we get a hit. We got this.
Done Nair would have been better.
And there's nothing wrong with what you did. I just think that you had to combo him harder. Because he was like DIing towards the edge. Like he was DIing towards the other side of the stage. Ooh, I like that. Vertical kill. Good awareness.
Okay.
I was gonna say you can't take these needles with you out when you're gone. Alright, breathe when you get a hit. Breathe when you get hit.
Okay. Alright. I actually turned around.
So one thing I would say that would help you a ton, wave dashing to the edge with confidence. Because you often let them recover. Like, they often have to, like, recover. And you're in, like, this blob of space that's, like, below the stage. Like, there's, like, a box below the stage. It goes up to the ledge and a little bit over it that most characters have to recover into at some point with the Rub Bs. And when you are Sheik there, like on the ledge, you have insane coverage of that space. So I think that like one small thing that would help you a lot is just being more confident at grabbing the edge. Yeah. Other than that,
that's definitely one of the first things that goes away as soon as there's like any pressure on the game, like ranked or in like a tournament or whatever. It's always wave dash to edge is something that
terrifies us.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where the breathing thing can actually be really handy because it like helps us not tense up so much. So like let's queue again, let's play more, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I will say overall the Falcon matchup is I mean, obviously it's a good matchup for Sheik, but it's one that I feel pretty confident playing.
Nice.
My friend, who I the friend I play the most melee with, plays Falcon as his main, so I'm pretty. I don't know why he's still friends with me. I play Sheik, but.
I mean, it works in both directions. Like it's good practice.
Yeah.
I also feel like Falcon Sheik is not bad enough for it to be like friendship crushing.
Yeah.
It's like a 6-4. Like get over it. It's like I don't even know if it's a 6-4 these days. It's probably like 55-45 ish. But like it's she clearly wins, but it's not that bad. It's doable.
Oh, we got the same matchup.
A Falcon again?
Yeah.
Nice.
I generally ban Dreamland because I just don't like giving him that much space.
What's the alternative?
Well, the other ban that I would do, I could ban Stadium too. I don't really like Stadium that much in it. But.
Yeah, I usually get rid of Stadium and Dreamland myself. Oh, Nair.
That's something.
Short up Nair. Nice.
That's something that I do. I do have advantage state sometimes, and I shield. I feel very comfortable in shield.
No, it's even more comfortable in shield in that kind of spot. Short up Nair.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
yeah.
it's like a shield, but it hits them.
Yeah.
Like...
In many ways, the opposite of a shield, but yeah.
No, it protects you.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like the best defense is a great like move that kills them if they make contact with it.
Yep. That's
from Sun Tzu's Art of War.
I missed that part.
When the opponent is in the process of killing themselves, help them along. No, I'm kidding.
No, he said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Breathe when hit, breathe when we get a hit. You got this. Okay, so this advantage state, what I would say is, like, remember, when he lands on the platform, when he's about to land on the platform, there's going to be lag, so try to, like, get your area, like, short hop instant aerial ready so that you can, like, hit him for landing on it.
Right.
Or move to the side and then hit him for, like, stomping.
Oh, that was perfect.
And then because his stomp goes like 8,000 feet through the platform, we might want to like crouch sometimes or wave dash around or like, you know, just be small. Yeah. Whatever involves us being small.
Whoa.
What a wacky move. Like,
yeah.
What a quirky move.
Nice.
Alright, we got this. Breathe when hit, breathe when we get a hit.
Oh. All right. Oh.
It worked out.
That turnaround needle would have been good there, I think.
But like because you turn around chained, you still have all your needles.
Yeah.
But we don't get to use them. Never mind. That was not better. I feel like we're trying to react to everything again.
Yeah. Oh my god, okay, I'm swinging. Nice.
Alright, you called us out. That's okay. Let's take a deep breath, center ourselves, and then decide what we're going to do.
Okay.
Do you not believe your moves will beat his moves?
I need to believe more, I think.
That is true. You have to believe in your hitboxes. You are kind of like Marth in that respect. Like, see how all this belief is doing? It did 75 damage. It's a lot of damage. So on that tech chase, when he like when he makes you go into run, that would be a spot I'd consider wave dashing, because then it allows you to dash dance easily.
Right.
If he's just keeping away from you like that, just consider shooting him.
Right.
So he jumped over them, but like now we've got him jumping. And this is okay. Ooh, amazing DI. Almost survived.
You gotta stop doing that. Yeah, Nair would have been better.
There's nothing wrong with the up air. The problem is you're trying to meet him in the air, like, before he's committed to falling with your back airs and stuff. You have to, like, wait for him a little longer so that he's actually committed to a direction. Because right now he's waiting for you to commit, and then, like, he's moving out of the way. But yeah, you just have to wait, like, a touch longer when you're sharking him. The thing is, like, remember, he cannot, like, he can't really whiff punish, air quotes, because, like, he's used his jump and he's in the air really high up, right? So he's gonna have to come down eventually anyway. So you don't have to, like, put, like, the whiff punishing, like, he doesn't have the whiff punishing part of, like, the rock, paper, scissors, like, system. He has undershoot, and he kind of doesn't really have overshoot either. Because he can't go past you either. So it's just, like, undershoot versus, like, what he does, so, yeah.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Ah, nice. I got scared. I thought he was gonna go to ledge.
It's okay.
Oh.
Breathe. Nice.
Okay. Oh, he's switching. Ah, I shouldn't have done that. Oh.
Aw, poor lag switcher.
Oh, yeah, true, true. I do want another game against him, so that's good. Okay.
Oh, Wispy's blowing. So if you grab him, like, you can get a good back throw.
Oh. Nice. Okay, I gotta tech out for once.
Aim for the platform more with your up B.
Yeah, that's it. Oh no.
Nice. I like it.
This
Okay.
okay, whatever.
It's
I
okay.
missed my jump to ledge. Okay.
It's okay. These things happen. Remember, breathing. Breathe when we get a hit. Breathe when he's about to. Breathe when he hits us. Breathe when we get a hit. Because we have to stay composed.
Yeah.
Nice
Okay.
DI.
Oh, I tried to go to platform there.
It's okay. I mean, it forced him to back air instead of knee.
I was like sort of between the platform there,
Yeah.
which is actually pretty good. Okay. It's a little bit frantic on that one.
Yeah. Breathing.
Nair again.
No, jump. Fair was fine. You had to jump back there.
Okay.
The problem is, one of the things that happens is that, a lot of times you think that the move is the option. The move is very rarely the wrong option. It's more about how you did the move.
Okay.
So, for example, Yeah, like that. Those back airs were perfect. I would never. If you had messed up those back airs, I would never say that back air is the wrong move there, because back air is weak. It's huge and it covers everything and it hits in the right direction. Like, perfect, absolutely perfect move. But like, yeah, it's just the way that like you might have done the move wrong, but like, yeah, no. But in those cases, everything was perfect in terms of the move execution. With the fair, you just didn't jump back. Like, he rolled through you, and then,
yeah. I was trying to, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we DI'd a little funny. We DI'd off away on knee and died at 65. It happens. But yeah, like, the biggest thing I want us to take away from there is it's more about how your move selection is almost always good. It's more about how you've set the move up. So, like, if you think about that fair where you were like, oh, I should have nared there. No. The fair was correct. It's just that, like, he tech rolled forward. Like, he tech rolled towards you. And then when you jumped up, he went through you because you didn't adjust with your drift with your jump.
Okay. Right. Oh, yeah. So it's just... So I jump, and then I'm just going to react to the tech.
Correct.
In that position, I'm reacting to the tech, but like fair's still good. It's just like I gotta actually react to it.
Yeah, like he tech rolled. Like if you landed in place, your jump is fine. Because he tech rolled forward, you had to at some point start drifting back so you'd hit him with the fair, and then but you did not.
Sorry, can I actually just pull that up really quickly?
Yeah.
I would just like do that exact moment. For
because
that kind of thing's important because I miss that a lot.
Yeah, share your screen, put it up.
Yeah. This one. Now is like somewhere in the back half.
It was the second last stock. So this is the right one, and it's around here when you respawn, I believe.
Sorry, let me just turn it. Where's the speed?
Oh, configuration, and put it to 80%.
There you go. Okay. You watch all of them slower, and it's actually really helpful.
I do watch most of them. Like, if I'm watching them, if I'm trying to like get better at something, yeah, I definitely watch them slower.
Right.
Actually, no. It's earlier.
I think it's before this.
Yeah, it's the interaction.
It must be like here-ish.
I think it's maybe it's either this stock or it's either this stock or the next one. But yeah. So it is the next one. I think it's a combo on the next one. So let's just watch this one and we'll see it.
Yeah, it's probably the end of this one.
So, like, this is all good. Yeah, I remember that.
The dashback's hard.
Well, he's also, like, the connection was kind of wonky in this one. So, like, that makes it harder. So, I think... Yeah, you get some pop-up here. Yeah, this.
Ah, okay. Wait.
So, you see, like... Okay, so you can see how it works. Go back. Like, just go back, like, a couple of seconds. Like, that's perfect, probably.
There you go. Yeah.
So, like, how should you have done the jump? So, like, stop here. And then arrow to advance. Like the greater than sign to advance.
The which sign?
Sorry, the comma and period.
Okay.
I
accidentally hit the arrow.
So we'll have to go back. So we'll just go back with the arrow.
Oh, it's
back one more. This is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we'll just use frame advance for this, which is totally fine. So then
I'm actionable like here-ish, right? Here.
I'll tell you when. It's the period we need.
Yeah.
It's just it keeps flipping between like it keeps flipping between full screen and not, but it's fine. Yeah, so just keep going forward. Yeah, that's perfect. So then you are So you just had to adjust to the tech roll forward and jump back here.
Yep. And I'm already jumping when he's on the right of the platform. So, and I could jump here and just hold back
Yeah.
and hit him, and I just jump straight up. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yep. It's aerial placement.
cool. Yeah, that's something that I'm gonna focus on for sure, because I do feel like that specific interaction happens a lot, where I think I'm always in my head, I'm like, oh, I just nair and I'll hit the whole platform.
I want to go actually to like how you do the edge guard on the very last stock, and like how you do the edge guard on this one to give you a good idea on like why this is on like the necessity of like kind of edge grabs. You don't grab the edge for this kill like the one you take on his stock here, but I want to point out like why it's good. So like why your play is good and how like edge grabs like enhance this. So we get like I think like a forward tilt fair here, right?
Yep.
So I want you to put like, you see how there's like this space that he has to travel into no matter what when he's coming back from like with his recovery. So like let's go to like the start of this edge guard, like when you get him off stage. So you get the forward tilt fair. I want you to pause when he starts his up B, or get to where he starts his up B. So like here's the important dynamics of the situation. He cannot make it to the stage right now with just his double jump. So this is why your position here is good. So because he cannot make it to the stage with his double jump, if he air dodges to try to get through you or something or grab the edge, where you are positioned is able to like cover all of that. Now him going low like this also works for you because you are able to like deal with all of his stuff from the position you're in. You can see that, right?
Yes.
Cool. So there's
from
like
this position from this position, like I can always kill Falcon.
Yeah, because there's a box that's I'm just gonna make a diagram so you can see what you can see what I'm getting at. There's like a box that he always has to travel into in order to make it back. And if we had to like draw it, it's probably he'll be purple-ish. It's like here. There's a box around here that he always has to travel through in order to make it back.
Yes.
Like, there's other space he can travel into, but, like, in order for him to make it back, he always has to do something like this.
Yes.
Or like that.
There's not a lot of options.
Right. So that means your short hop back air, well, you'll be red because you're player one, your short hop back air covering this space is actually really powerful, because there's nowhere what you're doing is you're basically, because your bear goes like a little bit below, you are covering all of his area like perfectly here. So this is why this works. Now let's go ahead to the next, let's now like advance to the next up B. Cool. So then here, once he starts it, I'm going to make a new diagram. Perfect. So at this stage, that's what I needed. Let me now just put this back. So at this point, his box has changed, because the place that he has to recover through is now more like this. Like, this is where he absolutely has to travel through in order to make it back, and he can basically only go like this. Maybe like this. Maybe if we're like, maybe if we squint, he can go through this and try to do like an edge, like hog the edge, basically. But this is why grabbing the ledge is so important, because if we had like, this will be one version, our back air can basically be positioned to cover like this. But if we were doing this from the stage, which we'll do in yellow, how would our back air look? Probably like the one, like the last one, right? Like about here?
Yeah, it's not going, it's barely below the edge at all.
Yeah. So this is why, like, this is why this one is so, like, grabbing the edge is so important, because, like, this is, like, good, and this is not good for this particular position.
Yes, that makes sense to me.
Okay. So, and if we think about, like, let's pretend this is Fox, like, just for funsies, let's pretend that this is Fox for a second. Because Fox has even more options in this guy, because Lord forbid life be hard for him. But it's not really that different either, because it's like he can go here, he can go here, he can go here. Like, he still has, like, he can squeeze more. It's still fundamentally kind of the same box, isn't it? It's just shaped like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just shaped like that. So, like, if we're Sheik here, we can still, by grabbing the edge, like, we can probably cover all of these pretty consistently, and the only box we're leaving open with the range of our back here is the ones that go super high. Right? So what happens is, like, if this is our 0 and this is our 1, this would be our 2, because we do this motion, right? And this, because up B takes a while, this would be his, like, 0, 1, 2. So the only ones, or, like, one of these other ones would be 2, 2, but those will get hit and kill him, so, like, we don't have to worry about those. But
I see.
So what that means here is, for his next play, he then has to go this to 3, or this to 3.
Right.
And guess what? We're on stage and actionable, so we're able to, like, then F-tilt him.
It's like, so it's rising back here to stage, not to ledge, to stage, and then just turn around F-tilt fair, probably.
Or turn around, or just wave dash back edge grab. Or, like, turn around down smash. Or run, or like, short, or full hop, or short hop back here again. Or, like, whatever it is. But the point is like, this structure is so important versus Fox because it just lets us not have to deal with him. And not dealing with Fox is, like, something that it's something we should all strive for. Because Fox is evil.
Certainly.
All right.
Cool. Yeah.
Alrighty. All right. So is this enough? Are you good? Does this make sense? All of this feels good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was great. I gotta go through and, like, write out my game plans for some of those matchups because I like that, or just what. Yeah, that was good. I liked that both those were Falcon matches, actually. That's good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm gonna head off to spend time with Swizz now, so I'll let you go. But I'm glad that this was helpful, and I know that you're out of work, so I don't know how much you budgeted for this or whatever, but, like, I do believe we're at 5, but if you want to renew, totally fine. Let me know. Like, sorry, we're at 5, including the one-off initially, so it's just more of just let me know what you want to do going forward, okay?
Cool. Yeah, I believe that I'm going to renew, but I'll text you. I'll message you in the...
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, later.
Bye-bye.